Hello, my friends, and welcome to the latest spin, your weekly dose of awesomeness coming at you from Student Athlete World USA. I'm Mike Spinner, Director of International Tours with Student Athlete World. It's great to be back. Some good news and some bad news. So, last week's video, I teased a little spice and a little flavor. So, here's the deal I went ahead and this week made some authentic Austrian goulash, and I have to tell you, it was unbelievable. It was as good as what I tried in Klagenfurt, Austria. Looked the same, smelled the same. I have tons of pictures and videos. I plan to post them as part of the latest spin this week. And I'm having some technical difficulties. I used my phone to take a lot of vertical video, which was then tried to put into a horizontal window for the video editor, and it isn't working out. But I wanted to get a video out to you today. I'm gonna continue to work on it, maybe post some pictures. But here's what I'll tell you about this food project, which I want to do is some of these videos for latest spin. Um, so I have two main hobbies that I try to do every day. One is kicking ass. The other is cooking. During the COVID lockdown, I got sick of the microwave, got sick of heating up frozen food, decided to learn how to cook, and it's been a labor of love since then. It is my favorite thing to do is to cook, and I become a bit of a foodie. And one of my favorite food hobbies is wherever I travel to, just trying local cuisine. So United World Games tour in June, as you all know, I was there. I did not want to eat anything from a recognized place for me. So like Munich, Germany, Hard Rock Cafe. Went there to buy a T-shirt for my son. Did not even think about eating there. Fortunately, right across the street was the Hofbrauhaus, which is the coolest restaurant I've ever been to in Munich. But I wanted to eat local cuisine as much as I could, and I did that everywhere. And one of my favorite stories about United World Games, and for those of you considering going with us to United World Games, um, Klagenfurt, Austria, site of United World Games, where we spend a lot of time during our tour. In my opinion, my favorite place I've ever visited, if not one of my favorite places I've ever visited. If I were to get a phone call tomorrow telling me I have to move to another country, I would seriously consider Klagenfurt. I loved it there. And we stay at this amazing hotel in the city center of Klagenfurt. And for those of you going to United World Games, let me advise you strongly. Put some time into your day to walk around Klagenfurt. It is awesome there. All these shops, cafes, restaurants, bars, etc., etc. Just some amazing places to go and eat and sit and kind of visit and get to know the local culture. And it was just awesome. So, trying to make the long story short, there was an afternoon I was walking around Klagenfurt, just enjoying myself. Really had a good time walking around that city. And I walked by this cafe that had this absolutely enchanting aroma. Something was cooking in there. Even though I wasn't hungry, I knew I had to give it a shot. So I walked in. The hostess spoke great English, so she knew there was an American there. We talked about United World Games because she had had a bunch of Americans come in, and I just said to her, "What's good here?" And she said, "Why don't you try some Austrian goulash?" I'm like, "Cool." I grew up in Queens, New York, in a very Eastern European centric area. And so I'd eaten goulash before, but that was Hungarian goulash. And this hostess explained to me that there are all different kinds of goulashes. There's Hungarian goulash, which you may have tried before. It's like a beef stew, different vegetables, gravy, etc., etc. There's a Czech goulash. There's a veggie goulash. There is American goulash. It's like that kind of meat with elbow macaroni dish that you'll see at diners. But Austrian goulash is very unique in that it's only the meat. It's like the meat and gravy. And the way you make it is there's a whole bunch of great spices that go into the meat. One of which I actually found here. It was Hungarian paprika, which is a very sweet paprika, which is amazing to cook with, completely different than the paprika that you're used to here. So I had this Austrian goulash. I fell in love with the dish. It was amazing. Probably the best meal I had at United World Games. I had a lot of great meals there. And one of the things I want to do for latest spin for this video series is occasionally cook the foods that you may get to experience on your tour to kind of bring our tours closer to you. So I found a great recipe for Austrian goulash, found all the ingredients, spent 4.5 hours cooking it, videoed a lot of it, and it's not making its way to this video right now. I'm still going to try to work on it. but I wanted to get a video out tonight. So here's what I'll tell you is that the dish itself was amazing. 9.5, 10 out of 10. It made me want to visit this area again. So if I ever have a chance to go to a World Games tour for many reasons, including the food, I'm going back. Um, and so for those of you who are thinking about going to United World Games, I think the food is a huge strength. And it certainly opened my palate to more ideas. I tried amazing chicken schnitzel at United World Games. The Austrian goulash was just incredible. There were a lot of other dishes I tried while I was there. German pork belly, and a lot of different types of sausage, and bratwurst and things like that. So that was kind of my project for the week. I kind of fumbled it, which is a good segue into, let's just say, my 5 favorite words on this Monday: the New York Football Giants people. My G-men, what a comeback yesterday. I got to tell you, let me say it again. The New York Football Giants, down 20-0 at halftime, down 28-7 in the second half. No biggie, folks. We got this, and we did. And one of my favorite things happening right now with the student athlete world universe is all my good friends from United World Games. There's 6 or 7 people who I've been very close with ever since the tour ended. So friendly in June when we're on tour. So friendly in July and August. We get to September, football season starts, and they're just getting mean. Last week the Cowboys squeaked their way by the Giants, and the text message coming in, you would have thought the season was over for the G-men. Halftime yesterday, same thing. Text message after text message. People feeling mighty bold about themselves. Well, guess who's laughing now? The guy who said the Giants were going to win. They never gave up. They never stopped competing. They found a way, and they may have just turned around their season. The only text message that came after the game, with a whole bunch coming during the first half, was, well, Arizona's not any good. Well, folks, I used a Google machine and I looked something important up, and it's real simple. The Arizona Cardinals are an NFL football team, and the New York Giants, one of the biggest comebacks in franchise history, and they're sitting at 1-1, people. Now, they play this Thursday, going to San Francisco. This was a game I had circled for a loss, because they're certainly not going undefeated, or undefeated the rest of the way. San Francisco is just too good, I think. I think Christian McCaffrey is finding a way towards an NFL MVP kind of season, potentially. Um, I hate Thursday Night Football, to be honest. I'm just not a fan, mainly because it's like the away team is down 10 points when they take the field. So the Giants, I think, no Saquon Barkley, short rest, West Coast game, not a good setup for the Giants. But what I'm thinking is they'll be a lot more competitive for 4 quarters than they've been at any time this season. I'm thinking they're going down 24-16, good game. And that will set the stage for them to kind of look at the next chapter of the season as being a very competitive stretch of games. So, if it's me, my thought process, look at the Dallas Cowboys, 2-0, blew out the Giants, blew out the Jets, sitting pretty, thinking that they have it all figured out. Maybe not so much to work on. Still 14 regular season games to go. And quite frankly, I've never seen a Super Bowl champion in September, right? But with the Giants, they're 2 games in, soon to be 3. They had some real big deficiencies for a while. Looked like they started to get it together second half of that Arizona game. Maybe they're figuring this out, which makes them a more dangerous team down the road. Saquon comes back healthy, which, by the way, Saquon is why we don't spend too much money on running back, right, friends? That's right. Saquon comes back healthy and his defense keeps playing well. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm thinking the Giants come home 1-2 from San Francisco, but I'm really excited for what happens after that. And once again, if you're looking to make yourself something great for dinner this week, check out Austrian goulash. I will try to get some pictures and video up for you because it really was a fun project to do. And as I always say, how do we get involved? How do we go on tour? How do we have the coolest experience of our lives? Go to studentathleteworld.com, complete an application, interview with me, and pack your bags. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next Monday for the latest spin.